Hey, what's up everybody? It's viotek. Today I'm going to tell you about 3 great gaming monitors for just $150 or less. That's pretty cheap if you're looking for something for gaming, and let me just say, it's hard to find a good monitor in this price range. I looked through dozens of different displays and narrowed it down to 3 that will get you the best bang for your buck. I looked at factors such as refresh rate, response time, colors, adjustability, reliability, etc. Now before I dive straight into it, I want to tell you about Digital Chill Mart. DigitalChillMart.com is the best place to get cheap Windows 10 and 11 license keys. If you're building a PC or have built one, but you're still running an unactivated version of Windows, Digital Chill Mart has you covered. Simply go to the front page of their website, scroll down a bit, and you'll find Windows 10 and 11 for great prices. And the prices get better. I have a coupon code for you guys to use. Type in viotek right here, and it'll be instantly applied. Link for DigitalChillMart.com will be in my description. I love those guys over at Digital Chill Mart. Anyway though, the first monitor I'm going to talk about is the LG 24GL 600FB. This is seriously a surprisingly good deal. I've looked at the price trend chart for this guy and it looks like this monitor is on a good sale that may last a decent while, so try to catch this one while the price is low. So what are the specs? Let's start with the size. It's 23.6 inches, which is the usual size for a monitor when you have a lower budget. 24 inches, in my personal opinion, is the best diagonal size for gaming. When you go up to 27, the pixels become a little bit too big and noticeable, making the overall quality feel a little bit worse. Anything lower than something around 24 seems a little bit too small. As for resolution, as expected, it is 1080p. 1080p is still totally good in 2022. It's still a really clear picture and will display a great amount of detail when you're gaming. And it will look sharp since this monitor is 23.6 inches. Now, how about the important 2 factors for gaming? Refresh rate and response time. Well, for refresh rate, it has an impressive 144 Hz refresh rate. I remember when 144 Hz was something you could only get if you were paying around like $250, so it is really awesome to see competitive refresh rates at this price level. If you don't know already, 144 Hz will give you that buttery smooth feel to your overall gaming experience, given your graphics card can output those high frame rates to begin with. Once you go to 144 Hz, you really can never go back. It is definitely game changing. And for the response time, it is 1 millisecond. Moving on to the panel type, we're looking at a TN panel. TN panels usually, unfortunately, will not have the most vibrant colors in the world and not so great viewing angles. Now, if your primary focus is really just gaming, that shouldn't be too much of an issue. However, if you like to watch movies and such, bear in mind the colors will look a tiny bit faded. However, I'm not really surprised. It is a $150 monitor after all, and you'll usually find TN panels in this price range. As for screen tearing prevention technology, it has AMD FreeSync, meaning you'll have a tear-free, consistent feeling experience while gaming. And how about the physical end of things like the stand and the look of the monitor? As for adjustment, you can only tilt this monitor. There is no height or rotational adjusting, but that is something that is usually only found on more premium displays anyway. And for the overall look, it's all right. Definitely some big bezels, so I would not recommend a multi-monitor setup if you're looking for something that's seamless. But besides that, I really don't have any complaints. It's your basic run-of-the-mill look for a gaming monitor with no weird quirks or missing essentials. Lastly, ports. There's 2 HDMIs, 1 DisplayPort, and 1 audio out port. Next up, we have the viotek GFV22CB. It has quite a few similarities to the last monitor, but also some significant differences that would change your mind on whether or not you'd want to buy it. First up, the basics. It has a size of 22 inches and a resolution of 1080p. 22 inches, that will be kind of a noticeable difference next to a 24-inch monitor. Now, I wouldn't say it would ruin your gaming experience or be annoying. However, I do think 24 inches is the ideal diagonal length of a 1080p monitor, but that is just my personal preference. There's nothing wrong with a smaller monitor. How about refresh rate and response time? It refreshes 144 times a second, just like the last monitor. As I've said, that will give you a super smooth and satisfying gaming experience, and will also give you an edge over gamers who are playing at lower refresh rates. As for response time, it's actually 5 milliseconds. Now, the human eye can't really tell the difference between 5 milliseconds and 1 millisecond, but if you're playing competitively, you're playing a competitive shooter like Valorant or CSGO, maybe even Call of Duty, where split-second decisions really count, that 4 millisecond difference could possibly be game-changing. Personally, I don't think it's a big deal unless you're extremely competitive. Now for the panel type, just like the last display, it is TN. Colors, not the greatest, viewing angles, not amazing, but if your primary focus is gaming, that shouldn't be a problem. Now for screen tearing, it has both G-Sync and FreeSync, so again, screen tearing will absolutely not be a problem. Lastly, the build and physical aspects. It's alright, there's some pros and cons for sure. As for the bezel, quite a bit thinner than the last monitor, so a multi-monitor setup setup would work a little bit better. However, taking a look at the stand, things don't look so great. It's not a very solid stand. It's light. One of the more flimsy types you'd find on cheaper monitors, but it really shouldn't be a problem if you trust that you won't accidentally tip over your monitor. For ports, there's one DisplayPort and 2 HDMIs. Number 3, last but not least, is the AOC G2490 VX. AOC tends to have really great value when it comes to monitors, so let's see how this one holds up in particular. Starting with size, it's 23.8 inches, so your typical 1080p monitor size, and as you probably could guess, yes, the resolution is 1080p. So with this display, things will look sharp, and you'll have that nice perfect size that isn't too big or small. As for the refresh rate, we're looking at the essential gaming rate of 144 Hz and response time of 1 millisecond. So far, so good, no downsides yet. For the panel type, it doesn't have TN, it actually has a VA panel with some really nice color accuracy. With this screen, you'll see a significant color vibrancy difference when you put it up against the last two monitors we talked about. If I'm being honest, I am a sucker for monitors with accurate, nice colors. I really can't stand when a beautiful game doesn't look quite so beautiful because of a shortcoming of my display. With this screen, you will not have to worry about that. Also, the viewing angles are much better with this panel as well. Now for the physical aspects, there are definitely some pros and cons if you haven't been able to see already. The primary pro is that it has a solid build with a great stand, so you won't have to worry about accidentally tipping over your screen or wobbling since there's actually some weight to the base. It also has tilt adjustment. Now the con, if you haven't guessed already, is the red at the bottom. Why? Like, not everyone who plays video games likes the color red. That trend is like dead now. Now, to some of you, you may think I'm being a little picky, and honestly, I am. But in my opinion, the red at the bottom is a definite downside if you like to color scheme your setup. If I had this monitor, I would probably end up painting that black. But besides that, I really don't have any complaints. This is definitely the best stand when put up against the last two monitors. And for ports, there's one HDMI, one DisplayPort, and one audio jack. So those are the three, each have their own unique features, their pros and cons. Now, what do I recommend? One of these three definitely stands out in terms of quality, bang for your buck, and that monitor is absolutely the AOC. For starters, it has a significantly improved panel, much better colors and viewing angles. It also has the most sturdy and solid stand. The red coloring at the bottom honestly can just be overlooked. It's annoying, but at least you're getting a fantastic display, not just for gaming, but even for movie viewing and video or picture editing. And that officially wraps up this video. If you have any comments or questions, you should definitely come join my Discord. The link for that will be in the pinned comment. If you enjoyed the video, drop a like. Have any comments or questions, drop a comment below. And if you enjoy the content you're seeing, you like to see PC tech, PC builds, monitors, laptops, etc., you should definitely consider dropping a sub. Thanks for watching. Peace out.